Welcome to Best House Decor. If you've ever looked at old junk and thought that could be something beautiful, then you're in the right place. In today's video, we're diving into the world of rustic charm, showing you how to turn forgotten items into stunning vintage garden art. From hunting for hidden treasures to transforming them with simple techniques, this is your guide to creating a one-of-a-kind outdoor space that tells a story. If you've ever walked past an old shed or wandered through a flea market and wondered what stories those forgotten items could tell, you're not alone. The journey to creating vintage garden art begins with the hunt. Old tools, rusted buckets, weathered signs, these are more than just junk. They're hidden treasures waiting for a second life in your outdoor space. The best part about this process is that you don't need to spend a fortune. In fact, some of the most charming pieces come from the most unexpected places. Whether it's a garage sale, a neighbor's discard pile, or even your own attic, keep your eyes open. Look for items with character, those with texture, patina, and potential. These will become the foundation of your rustic garden transformation. Once you've gathered your finds, it's time to roll up your sleeves and get them ready for their new purpose. Cleaning up the chaos might seem daunting at first, but it's a crucial step in restoring these items to their full charm. Start by removing dirt, grime, and loose paint with a wire brush or sandpaper. A little elbow grease goes a long way in revealing the beauty beneath years of neglect. After scrubbing away the surface mess, give everything a thorough rinse and let it dry completely. If there's stubborn rust, consider using a rust remover or vinegar solution to soften it before scraping. This stage isn't about making things look brand new, It's about preparing them while keeping their character intact. Once cleaned, you'll start to see how each piece can fit into your vision for the garden. Now that your items are prepped and ready, it's time to bring out their personality with a splash of paint. Don't worry, you don't need to be an artist to achieve that rustic, weathered look. Simple painting techniques like dry brushing, layering, and distressing can work wonders. Choose muted tones like sage green, soft gray, or creamy white to enhance the vintage feel. Start by applying a base coat and letting it dry fully. Then, use a dry brush lightly dipped in a contrasting color to skim over the surface, highlighting edges and textures. This gives the illusion of age and wear. Don't be afraid to experiment. Sometimes the messier the better when you're aiming for that authentic, time-worn charm. To truly elevate your garden decor, consider incorporating distressed wood accents into your design. Reclaimed wood brings a natural, aged element that pairs beautifully with metal pieces. Look for old fence boards, barn wood, or broken furniture, anything with visible grain and imperfections. Sand the rough spots just enough to make it safe but leave some texture for visual interest. You can attach these wooden elements to planters, signs, or trellises to add depth and contrast. Even small touches, like framing a metal clock face or backing a garden mirror, can create a focal point in your space. The mix of rugged wood and worn metal captures the essence of rustic charm without needing any modern materials. Restoring old metal pieces may seem intimidating, but with the right approach, it's both satisfying and rewarding. Begin by assessing the condition of each item. Some might only need light cleaning, while others require more intensive work. Use steel wool or a wire brush to scrape off flaking paint and corrosion. For heavily rusted areas, soaking the item in a vinegar and water solution overnight can help loosen the rust. Once the surface is clean, apply a metal primer followed by a durable outdoor paint to protect it from future damage. You can also choose to preserve the raw metal look by sealing it with clear wax or oil. Either way, the goal is to stabilize the piece while preserving its history. These restored items will soon become standout features in your garden display. One of the most creative ways to repurpose old tools is by turning them into eye-catching planters. An old rake, shovel, or wheelbarrow can easily be transformed into a whimsical home for your favorite flowers or herbs. Start by securing the tool upright, either by mounting it on a base or sinking it into the ground. Make sure it's stable before adding soil and plants. For extra flair, drill small holes or attach mini containers to hold additional plants. Imagine a vintage broom handle turned upside down, holding a cluster of succulents in its bristles, or an old watering can filled with trailing vines. These playful yet functional pieces add personality and storytelling to your garden while giving discarded tools a meaningful new purpose. Creating wind spinners from scrap materials is a fun and easy way to add movement and charm to your garden. All you need are flat pieces of metal, such as old trays, bottle caps, or tin cans, along with some wire and basic tools. Cut shapes like circles, spirals, or stars, then punch small holes near the top and thread them onto twisted wire. Hang them from tree branches, shepherd's hooks, or a wooden beam near your porch. As the breeze rolls in, they'll twirl and shimmer, catching sunlight and bringing life to your outdoor space. These DIY creations not only reduce waste but also serve as a reminder that beauty can come from the simplest of materials. Crafting vintage-style signage doesn't require fancy skills or expensive materials, it's all about capturing that time-worn look. Start with a wooden board or repurpose an old shutter or crate panel. Paint it in a base color like cream, navy, or barn red, then use stencils or freehand lettering to add your message. Once the paint dries, gently sand the edges and corners to reveal the wood underneath, giving it that well-loved appearance. You can also add subtle cracks or smudges with a darker wash of paint. Hang your sign above a garden bed or beside your gate to welcome visitors with a touch of nostalgic charm. Arranging your vintage garden display is where creativity meets curation. Think about balance, height variation, and visual flow as you place your pieces throughout the space. Taller items like wind spinners or tall planters should be placed toward the back or center, while smaller accents like painted tins or signs can sit closer to pathways. Group similar items together to create cohesive vignettes, a collection of old tools turn planters here, a cluster of wind spinners there. Add pops of greenery in vintage pots or hanging baskets to tie everything together. The goal is to make it feel collected over time rather than staged, inviting a sense of warmth and nostalgia into your garden. Maintaining your vintage garden art ensures it stays beautiful through every season. While many of these pieces are sturdy, a little care goes a long way in preserving their charm. Regularly check for signs of wear, especially after heavy rain or strong winds. Tighten any loose screws or connections, and reapply protective sealants if needed. During winter, consider moving delicate items indoors or covering them with breathable fabric to prevent moisture damage. Touch up faded paint or redistress surfaces as necessary to keep the rustic aesthetic alive. With minimal effort, your garden will continue to showcase the timeless appeal of repurposed treasures year after year. And there you have it. Turning discarded items into vintage garden art is not only creative but also incredibly rewarding. We've walked through every step, from finding the right pieces to giving them new life with paint, metal restoration, and clever arrangements. If you enjoyed this journey and want more ideas like this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss a video. Let us know in the comments what old items you've repurposed in your garden. We'd love to hear your stories.